This is God's voice calling to you right now, and you know in your heart you were led here not by accident, not by coincidence, but because your spirit has been crying out for clarity, for answers, for peace in a storm you can no longer hide from. God says, don't skip this. Don't pretend you can push it off for tomorrow, because your heart is at stake, your soul is aching, and the truth is burning inside of you like a fire that refuses to die. This message is for you, and it is urgent. I know you are tired, I know you are confused, I know you feel torn between what you know and what you feel, between the love you carry and the loyalty you deserve. And God says today, it is time to face it, because you can no longer afford to live in the shadow of His half-truths and hidden choices. You see, there is a deep difference between love and loyalty. Someone can love you and yet betray you. Someone can love you but still wound you with lies. Someone can say they adore you, whisper your name in the silence of the night, but then give parts of themselves to another. And when that happens, your soul feels the split. You know it. You sense it. You can't ignore it. Because real loyalty is not just about words, it's about action, about sacrifice, about choosing you every single day even when it's hard. Love without loyalty is just a flame, it burns bright, it feels hot, but it does not last, and it leaves you burned when it flickers away. Loyalty is the steady fire, the one that warms, the one that protects, the one that endures through storms. God is showing me that you have been clinging to His words because they sound sweet, because you want to believe, because you think maybe love is enough. But God is warning you, it is not love alone that sustains a life, it is loyalty that holds it together. Without loyalty, love is fragile. Without loyalty, love is selfish. Without loyalty, love is a wound that keeps bleeding while you keep pretending you're not hurt. God says, stop ignoring the ache. Stop pretending His excuses are truth. Stop shrinking your worth to fit into the small space He offers you when He is dividing Himself between you and another. I know you wonder, but if He loves me, why isn't that enough? Why do I feel like I'm losing Him? Why do I feel like there's always someone else standing in the shadow of us? And God says, listen to this carefully. It is not enough that He loves you, if His loyalty is elsewhere. Because loyalty is love's backbone. Loyalty is proof that His words are real. Loyalty is evidence that His heart is yours. If another woman is in the picture, you cannot ignore it. You cannot tell yourself it's just temporary. You cannot keep waiting for Him to choose when He already has chosen to betray you by bringing her into the story. This is the moment where God is telling you to start here. Start with yourself. Start with remembering who you are in His eyes. You are not a half-choice. You are not a shadow. You are not a secret. You are not a woman waiting for scraps of affection while another gets his loyalty. God says you are chosen, you are worthy, you are His beloved child, and He never intended for you to settle for less than the fullness of love and loyalty united. You may feel like you are trapped in love's web, like your heart cannot let go, like the bond is too strong, like you will break apart without him. But God says, if he cannot give you loyalty, then his love is not enough. You've been asking for signs, haven't you? You've been begging God to show you the truth. You've been torn, saying, God, just tell me if I should hold on or let go. And here it is, God says, do not build your life on someone who cannot be loyal. Do not keep waiting for him to change when his actions show where his loyalty lies. Do not keep compromising your peace, your dignity, your value, just to keep a love that is not whole. God says, you will break if you stay in something where his heart is divided. But you will rise if you choose yourself, if you choose healing, if you choose to let go of the man who could not be both loving and loyal to you. Love versus loyalty, it is the test of every relationship. Many men can love, but few men remain loyal. And the one who is loyal, even if he stumbles, even if he is imperfect, will always come back to you, will always choose you, will always guard you like a treasure. But the one who is not loyal, he will always leave cracks in your heart, confusion in your mind, unrest in your soul. God does not want you in confusion. God does not want you questioning yourself every night, wondering if you're enough, wondering if you're crazy, wondering if you imagine the signs. God says no, you are not crazy, you are not imagining, you are seeing the truth. And the truth is that love without loyalty is not safe for you. Now, you may say, but God, I love him too much to walk away. And God says, I know, my child. I know you love him. But I love you more than he does. And I will not let you stay in chains disguised as love. God is saying he is ready to open a new path for you, but you must stop clinging to a broken one. He is ready to send a man whose love and loyalty are united, whose heart will not waver, who will not play with your soul. But first, you must have the courage to face what is real. He has another woman, and that is the proof that his loyalty is not yours. This is why you've been restless. This is why you can't find peace. This is why even when you're with him, you feel empty inside. Because your soul knows the truth. And God is speaking to you right now to confirm it. You deserve more. Don't fight me on this. Don't try to argue with heaven. Don't tell yourself you can handle the pain if only he loves you. God says, love is not enough without loyalty. And if he cannot give you both, then he is not the one God has ordained for your forever. So this is where you begin. Begin by reclaiming yourself. Begin by saying, God, I trust you more than I trust my feelings. Begin by setting down the burden of a divided love. Begin by choosing peace over chaos, dignity over despair, truth over lies. Begin here, and God promises you, he will not leave you empty. He will heal you, he will restore you, he will send you a love that is both fiery in passion and steady in loyalty. But you must let go of the counterfeit to receive the real. God says, don't skip this. Don't close your eyes and go back to pretending. Don't tell yourself it's not that serious. Because the pain you feel is proof it is serious. And God is giving you the choice today, to keep clinging to love without loyalty, or to step into the life He has prepared for you, a life where you are not an option, not a second thought, not one of many, but the only one, cherished, honored, adored, protected. And I need you to hear this clearly. God says, if you walk away now, you will not lose, you will win. You will not be left broken forever, you will be lifted. You will not regret choosing yourself, you will only regret if you keep ignoring the truth. This is not the end, it is the beginning. But you must be brave enough to start here. Don't let His love blind you to His lack of loyalty. Don't let your feelings drown out God's warning. Don't waste years waiting for someone who has already shown you who He is. God says, you know the truth. Now act on it. Because your destiny is waiting, your healing is waiting, your true love, the one who will give you both love and loyalty, is waiting. And heaven is telling you right now, you are too precious to settle for anything less. This message is for you. This is your answer. God says, love without loyalty will destroy you, but love with loyalty will save you. God says, don't turn away now. Don't try to push this off because your heart is trembling and your mind is overwhelmed. This is the exact moment heaven is pressing into your soul, the exact moment the veil is lifting and truth is standing before you. You prayed for a sign, and now you're holding it in your hands. Don't close it, don't delay, don't silence this. God says you are being spoken to directly because you are at a crossroad, love on one side, loyalty on the other, and your destiny waiting for the choice you make. You have felt the pull inside of you, haven't you? One moment you are drowning in His words, letting His arms trick you into safety, convincing yourself maybe this time He is yours. And then suddenly, when He disappears, when He grows distant, when you see her shadow in His actions, the ache comes back stronger than ever. God says this cycle has been repeating not by chance but because you have not yet faced the truth fully. You've been living on the edge of denial, telling yourself you can survive the half-love He gives you. But God says, my child, you were not created for half-love. I did not design you for pieces and scraps. I designed you to be loved wholly, fiercely, faithfully. This is why your spirit cries out in the night. This is why you toss and turn when you know He is not being honest. This is why you feel a hollow ache when you sense her presence near Him. Because your soul knows you were not meant to share the one who claims to love you. Love is not real if it makes you feel like a stranger in your own relationship. Love is not real if you are constantly wondering who else holds His heart. Love without loyalty is a mirage. It looks like water, but when you run to it, you find yourself thirsty still. And God says this is the moment to choose your worth over His weakness. You keep asking, but God, what if He changes? What if one day He wakes up and realizes I was the one all along? And heaven responds, why must your worth wait for his awakening? Why must your life be placed on hold until he decides to honor what should have been honored from the beginning? Do you see how much power you've placed in his hands, how you've made your peace depend on a man who cannot decide who to be loyal to? God says, this is the chain that must break. You cannot keep waiting for loyalty from someone who has already chosen betrayal. You think walking away will shatter you, but God says staying will shatter you more. You think holding on proves love, but God says holding on to disloyalty only proves you're afraid of what He has for you next. And hear this, the enemy wants you stuck in this cycle of half-love because he knows if you break free, you will step into the fullness of love God has prepared for you. He knows that once you let go, God will send a man who is both love and loyalty combined, a man who will never make you wonder if you're enough, because every day his actions will prove it. That's why this fight feels so heavy, because your future is tied to this decision. God says, you are not crazy for still loving Him. You are not weak for still hoping. You are human. You are a woman who gave her heart and wants to believe it wasn't in vain. But God says, your heart cannot override His truth. And His truth is clear, loyalty is missing, and without it, love cannot stand. No matter how much you want to believe otherwise, a divided heart cannot give you wholeness. Now, listen carefully, because this is not just about Him, it's about you. You have been sacrificing yourself in the name of love, haven't you? You've been shrinking your light so His lies don't feel too dark. You've been swallowing your questions to avoid hearing answers you already know. You've been convincing yourself that love is enough, even when your soul is screaming for loyalty. God says, enough. He is calling you higher. He is calling you to stop lowering yourself just to keep someone who was never willing to rise for you. And here's the miracle hidden in this pain. God says, the moment you release him, the moment you refuse to settle for a man who divides himself, the moment you stand in your worth, the heavens will shift. The doors that have been closed will open. The blessings that have been waiting for you will flow. The love that is yours, the one chosen, the one faithful, will finally have room to come to you. God cannot pour new wine into old wineskins, and He cannot place the right man in your arms while you're still holding on to the wrong one. Do not be afraid. I know the thought of letting go terrifies you. But God says, what you lose in Him, you will gain in me, and far more. You will gain peace, you will gain freedom, you will gain dignity, you will gain a love that does not hide, that does not divide, that does not betray. But you must start here. Right now. This is not punishment, it is protection. God is protecting you from a lifetime of pain, from endless nights of suspicion, from a heart that never fully rests. He is saving you from building your future on shifting sand. He is saying, my daughter, I love you too much to let you stay where you are not cherished as you deserve. So what will you do? Will you stay in the illusion of love without loyalty? Or will you step into the promise of love that is both? God says the choice is in your hands today. But He begs you, do not waste more of your life hoping someone who already showed you his betrayal will become your safe place. Love versus loyalty, the answer is clear. Without loyalty, His love is not the rhythm of its own strength. Give God your sorrow, He will turn it into deeper clarity and, ultimately, into a quieter, truer joy. 7th, restore your identity in God. You have been defining yourself by someone else's choices for too long. God says remember who you are at your core, beloved, fierce, chosen. Stand before a mirror and say that name God gave you. Reclaim small acts of worship, a prayer at dawn, a walk where you talk to heaven, a song that makes the tears come. These acts are not childish, they are scaffolding for a soul learning to lean on something immutable rather than a shifting human heart. 8th, watch how God rearranges the world when you stop making room for a divided heart. He will not always take him away, sometimes He allows lessons to last, but God will open doors that were closed. He will send people who reflect what you asked for, honesty, loyalty, tenderness. He will create space in your schedule, in your mind, and in your heart where new music can enter. And often, you will look back and see with astonishing clarity that the very thing that felt like the end was only the clearing away of dead branches to make room for the orchard. 9th, be patient with yourself. Transformation does not obey your calendar. You will have days of fierce clarity and nights where doubt creeps in like cold water under the door. This is normal. God says be gentle. Celebrate small victories, a day you did not check His phone, a night you slept without suspecting, a choice you made that honored yourself. Each small victory is the quiet architecture of a new life. 10th, never mistake loneliness for lack of love. Loneliness is a temporary weather, it is not a verdict. There is a loving shelter waiting, maybe not instantly, but surely, and God is already preparing it. The space you create by choosing loyalty for yourself becomes holy ground where the right love can plant itself. Do not let fear rush you into the arms of a man who will divide you again. Wait, not out of desperation, but out of strength. God says, this is the blueprint. These are the steps you can take now, practical, sacred, fierce. You do not have to do them perfectly. You only have to begin. Begin with one small thing today, speak the truth, make one plan, call one friend, cry if you must. Begin here, and God will meet you at every step. You are not alone in this. The heavens are watching, and so is your future. The love that is both fire and fortress is coming, but only if you refuse to live on crumbs. God says, choose yourself. Choose loyalty for your life. Choose the quiet dignity of someone who will not be